Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our Ignite Your Brand St. Patrick's Day edition. Well, I know it's not St. Patrick's Day, but that's tomorrow. We figured we'd celebrate a day early. Why not have a little bit of fun here? Thank you all for joining us. I'm Kevin Durella, the VP for Franchise Growth and Development here at Safeguard and Deluxe, and I'm just so pleased to have all you folks who are out there with us today. We have a great Ignite Your Brand show set up for you today with a couple of three really great presenters with really good information to share with you. Just to give you kind of a quick rundown of that, we've got Rick French from PCNA, who's going to talk to us about some hard goods and apparel. We've got Josh Applebaum from Vantage Apparel, who's going to show us the newest trends in apparel and give us a little bit of education around how you decorate apparel, what kind of different methods are available to us. And then Kirsten Olson, who is with Showdown Displays, is going to share with us all the great stuff for all the events you have planned coming for this week. So with that in mind, I'll give you a little bit of a few housekeeping items here. Each of our presenters is going to have about 15 minutes to present their products and trends for 2022. You all out there can ask questions through our Q&A chat room. Should be on the right-hand side of your screen. So we want to see lots of activity there. Let us know what you're thinking about the products and ideas that they're sharing with you. And then in addition to that, I wanted to remind you that there was an information form that was shared with you in your invitation, and we're going to put that up in the chat room here in just a minute. And that's an important little sheet for you to keep handy, because we want you to fill out all the items that you see today and ideas that you hear about today that you're interested in. And what we'll do with those is at the end of the event, we want you to send those in to your representative, and we'll give you an email address to send that to. And then we'll use that as a drawing to pick drawing prizes for you to win from great prizes that our presenters are giving away today. So we'll make sure we ask them about those so you know what you're looking to try to get. So, and let me just tell you the email address is iyb@gosafeguard.com. That's IYB, the letters, at gosafeguard.com. So be sure to send that into us at the end of the event today, and we'll put you in the drawing for one of these great prizes from our presenters. All right, enough about me. Let's give a special thanks to our presenters today, and let's get started. So first up is Rick French, an old friend of the Ignite Your Brand events from Poly Concepts North America, or PCNA. I love the Ukraine relief background you got up there, Rick, and we're very excited to hear about what's happening for 2022 on the hard goods and some of your apparel.
Thanks, Kevin. So I was really asked to talk about, yes, as you said, hard goods and apparel, but really asked to talk about some trends that are shaping how promotional products are used right now, how that's changed a little bit over the last few months, and how we're supporting it, and how, more importantly, how this audience can leverage that knowledge and make promotional products potentially a little bit more powerful for them and for their own use. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do here today. And awesome. These are the three things we're really going to talk about, are some of those trends that are driving it. Really, environmental and social responsibility and how you can partner with a purpose. We're going to talk about the look of corporate gifting, a little bit of employee appreciation and learning and development, and how that's affecting the products and how they're being chosen. And then we're going to talk about some lifestyle trends and really how is it affecting the look and the usefulness of the product, because at the end of the day, that's the most important, right? We want these things to have a life after they're given out. So let's start with that first bit. And I'm calling this partnering with a purpose. And this is about environmental and social responsibility. And this is really penetrating our marketplace, because you, our audience, are asking us to do it. You want your products to be more responsible. So it's more than a trend, right? It's how we're doing business every day. And it's not just consumers. You corporations you're demanding that supply chains become more responsible, lest we find ourselves replaced. Look, consumers are willing to spend more on products that are sustainable, an average of 35% more. And even the retailers are saying that their customers are demanding an increase these environmentally and sustainable practices. So, with that, we think about the audience, and a lot of who we're gifting to and giving things away to now are millennials and Gen Z, and they're highly vested in this movement. But let's be honest, older folks like me are also caring more about the environment and wanting our products to have more of an impact. So, we asked ourselves, and we're a global company, how can we help and how can we get involved and how can we help you, the givers of gifts and promotional products around the world, an opportunity to make a difference and still have your branding efforts go forward. So we joined an organization called 1% for the Planet. And what this basically does, as we develop more products that have an eco-friendly stance, we call them eco-friendly right on our website, and the Safeguard teams will present them as eco-friendly. We're giving 1% back to the planet. Now, there's a couple different charities that are benefiting from this. One is called Well Aware, and Well Aware is a company that builds and maintains water wells, mostly in Africa, but in other places of the country. And then the other place where we're contributing is One Tree Planted. And that is an organization that plants trees, mostly in North America. So again, 1% of the proceeds go to this. Now, a lot of times, I'm going to share some numbers with you, I guess is where I'm going with this, because we hear this a lot and we really want to know what's happening, because we want you to know that it's not just lip service. And we are, if I show you this next slide, these are real numbers. There's 12 million plastic bottles that have been upcycled through just the promotional products that we're selling. 8,500 people have been provided with clean sources of water. That's a real tangible number. And this last one's pretty impressive, right? 998,000 trees have been planted. Folks, this is what I want you to hear from this. This is the result of promotional products being purchased and given, right? So if the mission is to make our promotional products more effective, I can't think of a better way. I'm proud to say, I mentioned Well Aware a minute ago, and we just found out last week that Polyconcept North America is the #1 contributor to Well Aware. And that, again, is the result of promotional product purchases. So that's up against brands like Whole Foods. That's up against brands like Tito's. Candidly, I take that as a bit of a personal challenge. I think with my help, I could get Tito's to the #1 spot. But I'll leave that for another day. But seriously, companies are making a difference with their purchases. And so it's pretty impressive and pretty exciting. The way we got to all those trees is through an apparel line that's available to you through the Safeguard Deluxe network called 10 Tree. Now, 10 Tree really, as much as they have an amazing apparel line and blanket line, they consider themselves a tree replanting service globally. And so this is where, every garment and every blanket that they sell plants 10 trees. And it's pretty amazing. So these slides that I've shared with you, they share numbers and they share a couple of good stories. What they don't share are the families that are able to comfortably and safely feed their children. They don't share the restorative effects. They're so much bigger than all of this graphics, the graphics that are on screen. Again, I'm just getting back to how can we make promotional products more effective and tell more of a story and how you can do it. And this is a big part of it. So that's it for the socially responsible piece and what we're doing to give back, and what you're doing to give back when you buy these products. And I'm going to move a little bit into corporate gifting. Again, if I talk about trends, corporate gifting has changed. As the way that these gifts are delivered has changed, the way that they're designed has changed. Corporate gifting has moved big from outside the walls of our companies to inside the walls of our companies. We're seeing gifts given more frequently. We're seeing them given year-round, as a matter of fact. Gift givers are perceiving the relationship building as part of this. And so my message to you is there's a lot more internal gifting that's happening these days, and the quality of the products that are being given has risen a fair amount as well. To learn more about that, because we saw a big shift in from like trade show stuff to higher end gifts. Not that trade shows aren't happening, because thank goodness they are coming back. But we saw the gifting kind of shift in terms of the quality of things, and we commissioned a study to better understand that. And this won't surprise you, but 62% of the respondents cited that product quality was really important versus not versus, but right behind that, 26% of people said it was very important. So you got almost 90% of the people saying, hey, I don't just want a cheap gift. I want something that's going to be of high quality and last for a while. And so that's what we're seeing. I started talking about this trend of gifts moving inside the walls of the companies. And if you're not doing this, it's just something to think about. It's where we see a lot of our products going these days. Very simply, employee appreciation. Companies are doing a lot more of it. We're all fighting to keep great employees and attract new talent. There's a lot more learning and development happening. If the pandemic taught us anything, it was that our team members want to continue to develop, and we have the ability to help fuel that. There's materials that are being given out to support diversity, equity, and inclusion. And all this leads to employee engagement, right? So really this trend of inside, these are just a handful of ideas of how the gifts can be given inside the walls. We all know that it's happening outside, again, to our customers, to our best suppliers, so on and so forth. But the internal efforts are what's seem to be fueling gift giving. So now we can start talking about some of the design trends, and really I say the look of corporate gifting, and I'm talking about design trends, but I think it's important to realize that these design trends are really lifestyle trends, right? Lifestyle trends that are influencing design, and they're influencing the way folks are choosing and using promotional products. So they're not here just to show you what stuff looks like. They're here to educate you on the types of things that you should be thinking of when you're giving a promotional product, right? Does it address one of these lifestyle trends? And if it doesn't, it might not really meet the need or the purpose that you're giving the gift for to begin with. So the first, and these are made up terms, but they're borrowed from real words, if that makes any sense. But the first one is called Techceleration. And it's probably a term you're not familiar with, but I can promise you that you're going to want to know it. So I think we can all agree that pre-pandemic, technology was already advancing at a pretty fast rate, right? But now it's moving at a pace like we've never seen before, and we sell a ton of technology. And it goes beyond these technological advancements that help connect us and make purchases. So how does that manifest itself into promotional products and gifts that you can give? Uh-oh. You don't want to see that. Bear with me for a moment. Kevin, it wouldn't be a Zoom or a Teams meeting if something didn't go quite wrong, right?
That's exactly right. And we are trying, we've got some folks that are trying to get on, and we're working through that as well.
Okay. So I think my Techceleration screen is back up. And here's how it manifests itself into our world. You know, you're going to see more wireless high-speed charging devices, more wireless earbuds, but those earbuds are also voice controlled. You're going to see digital business cards. That's what you're seeing up in the upper right side of the screen. That little circle on the back of the phone is a digital business card. Reusable notebooks that allow you to upload notes into the cloud. Right in the middle of the speaker on the bottom is called the collaboration speaker, and I'm using it now. You guys can't see it, but it's a desktop speaker and microphone that allows for clear. So as things move forward, we're bringing those products into the promotional product space. Even the Hydro Flask or the Hydrate Spark Flask that you see there on the left side is cloud enabled. It tracks how much water people drink so that they can fuel their health and wellness, which is, by the way, another trend that's really driving promotional product sales and that you should be thinking about as you are giving out products. I did it again, Kevin. That is, by the way, total user error. There we go. I didn't realize that my own presentation was hyperlinked. So holistic health is the next trend that I want to talk about. And again, as you're giving promotional products, this is something that your recipients are mindful of. At least we hope they are, right? I mean, health and wellness were emerging for the last many years, but the pandemic really brought it out to the forefront and really in a little bit different way than we've seen before. With all the major lifestyle changes that were brought on during that time, attention moved away from purely physical health to this holistic approach, which is a focus on mind and body. And for example, we used to wait until we were sick to seek help, and now it's all about preventing illnesses in the first place. So with that just mindset, how does that translate into promotional products? Well, it might be some traditional products, and it might be some things that are a bit more forward thinking, but fitness gear that's based fitness gear and recovery equipment, outdoor apparel and outdoor things for the outdoors, like this backpack and the blanket, right? Those are things that inspire people to get outdoors. That's the whole idea there. The Bluetooth speaker, again, not a radically new idea, but more speakers that are geared toward the outdoors. Again, we want people to get out of their homes. The candle here is all about relaxation, meditation, whatever you want to call it. But it's also made from, this is a certified B corporation that has these candles made from all natural materials, which is pretty cool. So there's a collection of these that the Safeguard team and Deluxe teams can bring to you. And again, address these trends with your gift giving. So the next trend is really about what we opened with, which is sustainable solutions. And as we talk about this, and I've mentioned that our company happens to be a leader in this space, in the promotional product space, to enable you to give out these products more. We just don't think of it as a trend. We think of it as a movement, and it's really created a seismic shift, right, in the way people are living their lives. So for those of you that have been in this world for a while, or buying promotional products for a while, selling them, whatever the case is, you know, there was a time in the not too far distant past where eco products were just kind of lousy. They were expensive. They didn't look good. And I'll tell you, that's really changed. You know, you're seeing brands like Stojo, which is a drinkware company down on the left, that's a collapsible cup. It's all made from all natural materials, not natural, but all recycled and recyclable materials. That blanket that you're seeing there is gorgeous. That's from the 10 Tree company that we talked about a little bit ago. So for every item that we sell or you buy, 10 trees are planted. You see the water bottle there in the middle, that's Camelback, a brand that you all are familiar with. And they've made a huge step in saying, look, the materials we're going to be using are at the minimum are going to be 50% recycled right now. So that's what that is. Blue Sign. If y'all don't know that, that's a third-party group that certifies these products to be sustainable or eco-friendly. And we're seeing more and more of the products that we design and that our brand partners carry make sure that they're certified by Blue Sign. So it's something that you want to be aware of, right? I mentioned a little bit ago that big group of millennials and Gen Z, they're going to be 75% of the workforce pretty soon. They're watching for it, but so are those of us that have been kind of quiet about it for a while. And the third time is a charm. Okay, here we go. The last trend that I'd like to talk about is that of brand cachet. And you know, really what this gets down to is folks like brands that they're familiar with. And it doesn't mean that always that it's about premium quality and a distinctive identity. It's about making connections. And that's what promotional products do, right? It's about reaching customers on a deeper level and understanding what they like and need. And brands can help do that. So more than ever, we're seeing consumers want something they can trust and depend. And that gives these products a life beyond the moment that you give them away. And that's, I guess, if we have a goal for any of our promotional products and/or gifts, that's what we want to happen, is for that gift to have a life beyond the time that it's given. And so how do these manifest themselves? Well, there's brands all over our industry for sure, but a handful that you are familiar with. Untuck is an apparel brand that we sell, and they're very big at retail, mostly in their own stores and then in Nordstrom and some other places. There's an example of one of the 10 Tree garments. Skull Candy, that's what those wireless earbuds are in the top. On to Camelback and Thule and Kenneth Cole and right. We recently launched Clean Canteen. We have over 40 different brands that Safeguard and Deluxe are able to bring to you through this network for your gift giving and promotional giveaway efforts. So it's pretty exciting. The other thing that's nice about these brands is they often do most of their own compliance. So we talked about eco and sustainability, but if you ever wonder about product safety, these companies are at the forefront of all the things that they put forward. So this is just, you know, we talked about kind of high level trend. I just wanted to bring some of those products to life. These are, you've seen these pictures already. I've already spoken to these products, but to make it a little bit more real, you know, these Skull Candy earbuds that are voice activated. They actually have a voice assistant in them that's much like Siri. There's that digital business card. And I won't drain this slide of everything that's on it, but I just wanted to make it a little bit more real for each one of those trends: Techceleration, holistic health, sustainable solutions, and the brand Cachet.
It's awesome, Rick.
So I got one more thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm done, Kevin. But I want a gift for one of you. And Kevin, I'm going to ask you to, because I forget exactly what to say here.
Yeah, I'll remind them.
I'll remind them.
So remember, for our folks, attendees out there today, what we want you to do is use the information form that was sent to you in the invitation, or send an email to iyb@gosafeguard.com and tell us what if there's any items on the list that you've seen today, or any of the ideas that Rick shared with you that you have an interest in, and that will get you into the drawing for this great prize that Rick's going to tell us about.
Yeah. So earlier I showed you this number, 998,080 trees. With this gift, we plant 10 more. It is a cable blanket from 10 Tree. And I thought I had my animation all lined up and perfect, but if I push this button, it didn't do exactly what I wanted it to do, but you still get the idea. There's a kind of a lifestyle picture of the blanket. And it's a $100 value. And I'm excited to get the information on to where to send this, because it's a really, really cool gift.
Beautiful gift. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And remember to fill out the form or send an email to iyb@gosafeguard.com, and that'll get you entered into the drawing for that great prize. And Rick, I think the word of the day is Techceleration.
All right.
I like it. That's a new
Thank
one
you.
for me, so I appreciate that. Thanks so much. Tracy, have we got any questions, comments out there in our chat room for Rick?
Kevin, we do have a couple of questions for you today.
Okay.
Number one, the question is, how long does it add to production time to have it kitted and have a kit put together? Does that add a couple days, or how much does that add?
It's a great question. I would say a couple of days on average, Tracy, for a standard size order. We would need to. It could get a lot longer, a lot shorter, depending on the size, but on average, it's 2 days.
Okay, and the other question I have is about inventory. How are inventory levels today?
At the moment, they're pretty good, but I'm glad you brought it up, because it's a trend that we watched last year, right? And the supply chain was a challenge. It's still a challenge. It just is. Most of our world is catching up. PCNA has certainly caught up in a big way. Like we feel more confident now than we, dare I say, ever have, candidly, in our inventory levels, which is great, especially considering what's going on in the world. Because if we haven't purchased ahead of time, we'd all be in trouble. But we have, and so we're good.
Fabulous. Okay, well, Kevin, that is all the questions that I have for Mr.
Tracy?
Rick French. Yes, sir.
Tracy, can I just add one more comment to that, though, since we have
Sure.
end users and on the phone here or on the call. Today's March 16th, right? Inventory is good right now, but we just came off of Q4, the heaviest gifting season of all time, and it's not that far away, Q4, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's just surprisingly, it's not. So my message to you is, order early this year, and order it and ship it. So one of the things that we encouraged people to order early last year, and they did, but they wanted the people to hold on to inventory. So suppliers, not just PCNA, but suppliers around the industry, ran out of stuff early to sell, but then when it came down to produce it, everyone wanted it at one time. So if you can find the way, start thinking about it now to place your orders in June, July, go ahead and ship them out, and if you can, and keep them someplace. We just don't want you to find yourselves in a position of not being able to deliver, and we want to keep the promises that we make too. So I hope that wasn't too direct, but I think it's important to hear.
No, I think that's good advice, Rick, for everybody. So we should learn some of those lessons from the last 24 months. So great. Thank you so much, Rick, for being here today. As usual, great job, and we look forward to talking to you again soon. All right, next up, we have Josh Applebaum from Vantage Apparel. Josh is new to us here at Ignite Your Brand, but I know he's going to do a great job for you today, because how can he not with that hat?
That's right. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, everybody. I I wore the hat out of a request for me continuing to look different and weird in all settings. So my name's Josh Applebaum. I'm the Vice President of Digital Transformation at Vantage Apparel in New Jersey. Relatively new to Vantage in the term of what we consider to be short term nowadays, 6-7 months. So kind of digging around Vantage and sort of piggybacking on some of the things that we've learned over the course of time, both in working with Safeguard Deluxe and working through the newness and the challenges in the industry. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about trending, most specifically in the apparel sphere, but then also how to build, merchandising presentations and uniforming programs and stuff like that. Especially for those of you who are attempting to really re-merchandise and rebrand workforces that are working from Starbucks, from home, from an airplane, from wherever, rather than what this looked like a couple of years ago. Before I do that, I'm going to get off of PCNA's website and stop shopping. Rick, that was great. I have a number of requests to send your way, so I'll get there. I wanted to also mention as we go through this thing, there'll be a little bit of product introduction, but I'm going to kind of fly through those slides and really talk about the different decoration applications through that new product. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to hit up the chat and we'll roll through that as we go. So let's start with apparel trends. This is my favorite topic to talk about, as you can tell with this ridiculous hat and semi-ridiculous 1970s bomber jacket that actually smells like the 1970s. Let's start with sustainability. This was in no way, shape, or form to be like a piggyback of Rick's presentation, but it does work out well. I'd love to tell everybody that sustainability has been a major focus for years and years and years, and everybody's been super committed to creating all these great products that go along with it. We all know that that's not the case, but we at Vantage and other amazing suppliers in the industry have done a great job of catching up to that. We are now more so than ever ingrained in sustainability efforts, both at the manufacturing level and then also in our offices and facilities across the country. I will show you a few products that are part of our sustainability line. Each and every one of our polyester polo shirts is now made with some element of recycled plastic bottles, recycled fabric content of some kind. So it is a major initiative and push for us. First trend, elevated loungewear. So before this call started, a few of us were chatting it up about air travel and all that good stuff. And I remember a number of years ago when the airlines were resistant against people wearing, women specifically, wearing yoga pants on airlines. And now we have an entire category of elevated loungewear that sort of leans into that. So that's a major trend that we're seeing. It's one that that Vantage has really jumped into the deep end with and embraced as work environments continue to evolve. I think this sort of elevated loungewear type category, where we sort of toe the line between comfort and corporately appropriate, will continue to be a hot one for us. New preppy. I don't necessarily consider this to be a new trend, but it's an evolving trend. So lots of quilted vests, lots of sort of neutral comforts, things like that again sort of toe that line between corporately appropriate and clubhouse attire and really everything in between. Unisex trends. So as you can see by our friend on the right-hand side of your screen here wearing the purple t-shirt with holes in it, we have emerged into this fashion landscape of women wearing traditional men's silhouettes and men wearing more traditional women's silhouettes and everything in between. And it's kind of become this big melting pot of unisex dress culture. which has been really cool for us to experience and again, sort of lean into. So you can see a few of our products here with the Baja hoodie down below and a couple of the puffy jackets. These are all considered this sort of unisex, one for all type fit. Color stories. So this is something that I kind of bring to Vantage and is a passion of mine and something that I think will really help everybody on here as we go into this new season of merchandising employees across all sort of work environments. I'm a big proponent of corporate branding matching a story rather than matching a specific style. So what we're working on specifically, with our Safeguard Deluxe sales representatives is building out these corporate color stories that match corporate branding, but aren't necessarily matchy-matchy. So it allows for people to have their own separate, distinct personalities, but still kind of be corporately appropriate. All right, decoration trends, the real reason I'm here. I just had to throw in some things about color stories to satisfy my own need here. Logo placements. So for those of you who have not ordered a promotional wearable, the comment of left chest embroidery on a polo shirt won't necessarily resonate with you. But for those of us who have been a part of this and have, polo shirt, left chest embroidery is more or less the standard bearer of the industry as far as decoration goes. And at Vantage, we're in a place where we're able to sort of mix that up a little bit, but then also offer different decoration trends that you may not think about. So this piece in front of you here is a project we did for Sharpie. And I kind of thought it was a cool idea to task our artists and our decoration folks with finding different decoration locations that we can make just a standard embroidery hit look a little bit more elevated. So as you can see, kind of following along on that right sleeve, we did just a traditional right sleeve embroidery hit, and then up to the right shoulder on the cap there, we did a nice little embroidery hit, and then you get up to the collar, and then the placket, and then the other sleeve with the inverted Sharpie logoing as well. We think it's kind of a cool way to differentiate, right? Even if your branding is a little bit more corporately buttoned up, we think it might be cool to throw an embroidery hit on a collar and really kind of differentiate. You can see there, my friend on the left-hand side of your screen has an embroidery hit inside of a hoodie. That is a brand new trend / capability that we have that allows us to embroider inside of certain pieces without having that embroidery hit the outside of the garment. Again, looking at employee gifting programs, anniversaries, milestones, stuff like that, I think is a really cool way to kind of throw that together for everybody. And then last but not least, our friend here, the mannequin all the way on the right-hand side of your screen, shows not particularly clearly, at least in detail, but a bead stitch, which is one of the unique Vantage embroidery capabilities. And it's effectively just a single stitch. So it's great for text and silhouettes and stuff like that. Kind of looks reminiscent of a chain stitch for those of you who might be familiar with what that looks like. But the idea is to kind of show this a little bit more like artistic approach to decorating a piece. And obviously you can see this recycled shawl is kind of a cool way to show that off. Varsity blocking. So this is a huge kind of reemergence of a trend. And actually the reason I wore this vintage bomber jacket, I wanted you guys to know that like the 80s collegiate style is here and it's back. This particular decoration method, we use tackle twill. That is done through a cutting process with a laser bridge that's really quite cool, and I'll be sure to get some video content over to the Safeguard Deluxe team in case you'd like to see what that looks like. But this is just a kind of a tackle twill collegiate style sweater that we've really put into a lot of corporate gifting programs, a lot of corporate wellness programs, great work from home gifts, etc. So again, as we sort of build this hybrid workforce between the office and the home, these are great ideas to kind of think outside of the box with. And then, of course, monogramming. This is something that Vantage offers that's not particularly common in the marketplace. But if you're not necessarily requiring people to have a big, loud, and proud logo, but you want to give them the option to customize their pieces, we do offer monogramming, which I think is a nice touch. And then lastly, we're just going to jump into some newness. And again, I'm going to fly through this a little bit, but I want to focus really on the decoration capabilities and sort of what that may yield for you guys as it comes to program building and re-merchandising and all that good stuff. Greg Norman, brand that we carry, that we're exclusive with in the marketplace. We have a new Greg Norman Lab Stripe polo that's out. Decoration techniques on this, again, like you saw in the Sharpie sample, can embroider all over, 3D heat transfer, regular 2-dimensional heat transfer, all kinds of really fun ideas that can go into this one. And again, we can play with color stories and all that. This is a ladies' companion. I like to point this one out, and I'm going to go back to the last slide really quickly so you can kind of commit that to memory. I like to point this one out really to showcase that the movement towards thoughtful ladies-specific pieces has really kind of reached this amazing crescendo point where we're starting to build pieces in conjunction with our brand partners specifically for women, with women in mind, built by women, designed by women, and really kind of take the mini men's approach out of companion pieces, if you will. So this is a great example of it, and I love to show this one off. Half zip hoodies. Again, this is another great Greg Norman piece. I like to show this one off for 2 reasons. One, I think it's a cool piece, but we can also decorate left chest. We can decorate just above the pocket here. We can decorate on the back and on the sleeves and even on the hood crest. Again, 3D transfers, embroidery, tackle twill, the whole 9, I think look really cool on something like this. Ladies, same thing. Our new Marco Polo is really the one piece I'll hone in on. It's a corporate uniforming, budget-friendly piece up to 5XL. And this is something that I think really as we move into this hybrid work environment, this is a piece that I really encourage you guys to get your hands on, play with decoration techniques, do self-promo giftings, all that good stuff. It's a really tremendous value piece. And again, ladies' companion. Moving forward, I wanted to stop on this Grace Flow cardigan for a couple reasons. One, I showed it off with the bead stitch a few moments ago. 2, it's 45% recycled polyester, which is a huge deal. It's part of our 1% for the Planet campaign as well. Ours surrounds beach cleanups in New Jersey and kind of puts us in this place where we're able to sort of help our local community, but help our local community globally. So I always love to point this one out. The Mesa vest, same thing. I showcased the kind of the diamond quilting and the quilting vests and jackets previously, but I wanted to show this one off in a little bit more detail. Again, you see that embroidery at the left chest. Highly encouraged to put embroidery on the top of the sleeve, put embroidery on the neck collar there, and really kind of mess with the locations on this one. Same thing with the ladies. You can kind of see the embroidery hit on the top right shoulder there. I think that's a great option and really showcases a little bit more thoughtfulness when it comes to branding and decoration. Also comes in a full-length jacket for men's and for ladies. The K2 jacket, again, a nice polyfill ripstop. The decoration techniques on this one, again, are sort of boundless. I know we think jackets like this, we think embroidery. Highly encouraged to take a look at 3D heat transfers, 2D heat transfers, stuff with, full color capabilities, all kinds of really fun decoration placements and techniques on this type of fabric and material as well. And then our headwear line, we're really heavy into garment wash type pieces that are coming out into the marketplace. And I point that out specifically from a decoration standpoint. I think garment wash pieces give us an opportunity to use tonal logos, give us an opportunity to embroider, to heat transfer, to silkscreen, kind of everything across the board, whether it's full color or tonal. I really encourage you guys to take a look at some of this bio wash stuff and really sort of lean into maybe a new interpretation of what that branding looks like. With that, I'm a film fan, so thin. But I did want to say really quickly before we wrap up and I get cut off with the little Bo Peep thing, in the spirit of sort of engagement with you guys and of course appreciation for everybody showing up. I have a what I think is kind of a cool giveaway idea. I wanted to give somebody here the opportunity, and I know the fine folks at Safeguard will shoot you the details, but give somebody the opportunity to choose something from our branded selection, whatever that is, doesn't matter, size, style, color, no matter to us, and then pick a companion piece, whatever it is. Could be same brand, could be same style, could be completely different. Give it to a friend, a significant other, a child, a grandparent, a parent, whatever that looks like. But our whole theme this year is to kind of share the love and re-engage with our friends and our customers. And this is sort of our little idea for how to reach out that way.
That's awesome, Josh. Thank you. That's like a 2-for-1.
It's a 2-for-1. It's like
a
real 2-for-1, not the buy one get one 50% off, which is like not a real deal.
Right.
I burst that bubble for people, but it's not.
I'm with you on that one. Hey, listen, that was great. And for all of these on the call here on our event here. So remember to send in the form or send an email to iyb@gosafeguard.com, and that'll get you into the drawing for not one but 2 great pieces from Josh's Vantage apparel selection. So we really appreciate it. And the other thing, Josh, thank you for teaching us about a bead stitch. Who knew? I didn't know anything about it.
I am an unapologetic decoration nerd. So like I sew and I am fascinated with embroidery. And when I took this gig at Vantage, that was the first thing I asked. Do we do any chain stitching or any bead stitching? And I went back to the back, and as it turns out, we do both. Chain stitching is obviously a little bit different of a process, but the bead stitch, you guys who are engaged with this, I highly, highly encourage you to try it out. It's such a clean, cool, vintage look and a really great way to monogram things.
Yeah, thanks for that, Josh. Really appreciate it. Thanks. You did great for your first time on our IYB, so you'll be back again, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm happy to be here anytime.
All right, great. Thank you so much. All right, so now we have for you, bringing up the close for us is Kirsten Olson from Showdown Displays. She has been with us before, always does a great job. And I can't wait for everybody to see what you're going to show us, because I thought it was really cool when we shared it earlier today, Kirsten. It's a neat way to see all the cool things that Showdown Displays can do for businesses to promote their business. So take it away. But come off mute first.
There we go. Absolutely.
Right.
Sorry.
Thank you.
All right, so let's jump into this. Thank you for having me, and thank you for being here today. I hope you guys keep your hands and your feet in the car at all times, because I am bringing you to lovely, somewhat cold Minnesota. So welcome to our Brooklyn Center facility. This is our 7,000 square foot showroom here in Minnesota. And really, what I wanted to do is I really kind of wanted to show you everything that we've got going on, because there's lots of products throughout this entire category of lightweight portable signs and displays. But I really just wanted to be able to show everybody some of the cool new trends. We really are going through today just talking about really what's happening for this year and what's going on. And so a lot of times people are like, science displays, you don't have anything. Well, we kind of do. We've got a couple things up our sleeves here. So as I navigate through here, I'm going to go a little slow because this does move, and it will take you throughout the entire floor. But to start, one of the product categories that is new for Showdown this year is actually what we call our home decor line. Now, while we call it our home decor line, this is really great product to decorate your own offices, your own production facilities, your hallways, your offices, because really what it started out with for us is these gallery signboards, or a lot of times what people consider canvas wrap frames. You see these all over companies, whether you're a dental office, you might be a vision clinic, you could be a production facility. You know, a lot of times, even if you're a business that's been around for quite some time, a lot of times you have historical pictures. And so a lot of this is really kind of what started us off into the home decor, because a lot of it was specifically to design offices. But when COVID hit, a lot of that gifting started happening. And so we had things like the canvas boards. We also have an aluminum sign. Those quickly transpired into marketing messages, sending out inspirational messages, while they were possibly sending out, you know, corporate mugs or the apparel. They were also just sending a quick little thank you, inspirational thing to decorate your home office, regardless of where you were working. So we kind of wanted to take that one step further. And so we kind of exploded this entire line for us. So we now include things like acrylic prints, this luxe print, which is a SEG or silicone edge graphic, which is also becoming more and more popular as well. Because the one thing about it, and I do have a sample here, so if everybody can see this, this actually is just a silicone channel that goes right into a beading system. And so this is really easy to interchange. So this is also great for offices. You can put it in your own home if you would like to as well. But then we've also expanded into pillows, doing single-sided, double-sided. You know, most businesses have a lobby. Why not just throw a couple of logoed pillows out there? You know, if you really want to have fun with it, maybe you can print your president's face on it of your company. But you can also do these for, you know, any launch event. So the one thing that I really think of for pillows is any sort of liquor company. You know, a lot of times they're doing these huge launch parties. Put your brands on there, put your new bottle designs on, decorate the club or the bar that you're at, and away you go. Same thing here. We also brought in some blankets, you know, great large format dye sublimated blanket. We can print anything on these. So you can print your family's photos, you can print company logos. You know, they gave us at Showdown blankets with our core values printed all over them. So we remember when we're working every day what those core values mean. But as we're navigating around, we can also see a lot of the A-frames that we have to offer. So another one that is brand new for us are the Coro A-frames. Now this is a great lightweight option to have outside, lightweight temporary signage that you can throw a sandbag in here, double-sided imprint. You get a set of 2 of them, but they're really quick and easy to set up. Everything just slides together and away you go. So you could also do, you know, those dry chalkboard erase ones, or you could do your standard messaging as well. But then one of the other trends that we're really seeing a lot of people glob onto are the lighted displays. Now, there is one thing about a backlit display is when you have this in a trade show booth or even in a lobby sign, a lot of people are drawn to it. It's really like that moths to a flame situation. Again, all of these are that SEG or that silicone edge graphic. So you get these really nice, crisp, clean lines with this. You can do them as wall mounted displays. You can do them floor standing, or you can even hang them from the wall. Again, these are great options to be able to quickly change out your messages. So one of the most popular pieces with this, because a lot of times when we're talking to people, not a lot of times do we grasp this. So we see this predominantly in airports. So as you're moving down that moving jetway, going from gate to gate to gate, those really large graphics that are on the wall traditionally are SEG graphics. These also work great in retail settings, automotive settings, dealerships, you name it, anywhere that you've got a small wall. So if you don't want to go with that canvas frame and you want to be able to change out your graphics more frequently, you can also go with the SEG backlit display as well. And then to round out, we also, so one thing at Showdown, and even more so with displays, it has gotten tricky to get into that eco-friendly sustainability product category. We have done that. For 2022, we now have eco-friendly materials. We have it available in our retractors. We have a PVC-free vinyl banner. And then we've also got an eco polyester in our Eurofit, which is this piece we're looking here. And then we've also got some recycled materials in our table throws. So we've really tried to hit all of the top product categories with you know, those table throws, retractors, all of those that are the top selling categories, but now we've got that eco-friendly piece to it. So with the Eurofits in particular, everything is a shock corded push button aluminum system, dye sublimated, double-sided graphics, but this individual piece here is all made out of recycled materials and is recyclable. So if you have that fabric recycling capabilities in your municipality, all of this can be recycled. And then last but not least, as we're running out of time here, the one last thing I want to show everybody, because table throws are our #1 best-selling product category. Seems kind of ridiculous, but we've added 2 additional sizes to the table throws this year. The very top one there, being that green one, is that 12-foot. The bottom bright blue one is our 16-foot. Now, may not work for everybody, but if you're having any sort of event, registration, what really drew us to doing a 12-foot and a 16-foot table throw are those large national sales meetings, or you know, companies coming together, throwing a party, college recruitment, and then signing up for all of those different clubs and events that you can do with colleges. So now you can have one cohesive message across 12 feet or 16 feet, or you could also do step and repeat logos with these as well. So you're not having to order multiple table throws to cover 2 6-foot tables or 2 8-foot tables. So you got a little bit of everything going on. All right. And the last thing I should mention here quickly before my time runs out, my door prize for today, and I'm going to take you back over here to these eco-friendly Eurofits. We will be giving away one of these Eurofit displays with the eco-friendly polyester material on it. These are great, again, so if you're kind of like, you know, I don't do trade shows. If you have any sort of lobby or lunchroom or anything where people are coming in, you're talking to your employees, you can print all of your company information on one side, and then you can also print welcoming messages on the other side to welcome in all of your employees, any guests that you may have coming into your facility as well.
Well, that's awesome. You know, a lot of people are heading back to work, right? Back into offices, Kirsten. So
Absolutely.
that's a great thing to add to your front entrance for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you so much for that. Remember, for those of you on the call here today, to win one of the great prizes from our 3 great presenters, you need to send the form or an email to iyb@gosafeguard.com, and that will get you entered into the drawing. I want to let everybody know also that we've recorded this event, so we're going to get this posted. We'll have a link to send out to all of you, as well as anybody else you want to share that with. Be our guest. That would be great. And for a few of you who maybe had a difficulty getting on at the early stages, we'll make sure that you get to see the whole event as well. What a great day. I didn't ask Tracy if there's any questions for Kirsten, and also I didn't ask you if there were any questions for Josh, but if there are, you could kind of ask us, Tracy.
Okay, well, let's go with Kirsten first. Kirsten,
Okay.
what is the minimum order quantity for pillows?
1. Pretty much
One?
everything. So everything that I showed you today and then some, we have a 1-piece minimum on almost, I would say 99.2% of our product category.
Wow, I can get 1 pillow, 1 blankie, and curl up in the corner. Got it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. I did have a couple of questions for Josh. Josh was, just rushed right on along, but hey.
And I just rushed right over him is what
I
happened,
know.
Tracy. That
It's
was
all
all me.
good. But
It's
we can
actually
come
the
back
way
to
that
it.
I'm supposed to be and used to being treated, and I'm good with it.
Okay.
Josh, how do sustainable garments feel? I mean, they're not going to feel like those plastic bottles, right? Do they have a soft hand? Are they comfortable to wear? What do they feel like?
They do. So it's actually pretty fascinating. I got a chance. This should have been beginning of 2019 to go to a factory and see them take materials, plastic bottles, basically all kinds of recycled plastic, and turn it into this sort of fabric that is mostly polyester, but can be rayon, can be viscose, all kinds of things. It feels just like a blended piece. Anything with polyester in it, it's really tremendous what they can do with the hand.
That is awesome. Appreciate that. The new inside location placement, it was like almost inside the jacket. Did you say that that's embroidery? And is that like a standard placement option now? Does it only come on some pieces?
It only comes on some pieces. It is embroidery. We can also heat transfer it. It's really limited to a jacket with an interior lining or a jacket with an interior zipper that's intended for embroidery on the outside. So we have these zipper compartments that most brands have, where you can zip it down on the inside, and that way the backing isn't showing on the inside of the jacket. And what we figured out is if you flip that process around, you can actually embroider on the inside of the jacket, and it gives you kind of a cool custom touch to show off without having to necessarily put it on the outside of the piece. It is not a core offering, so it's not something that you'd see in like a sales flyer or something like that. But it is available, and this is actually the first time we've presented it to anybody. So this is a Ignite Your Brand exclusive.
Ooh, like that.
That's right.
Love that.
It sounds like you guys can, if someone has an idea of how they want something done, you can kind of make it happen, Josh.
Pretty much. I mean, Vantage is a house with various brands, but really Vantage is a decorator, and that's kind of our core competency. That's our core value offering. That's really where we position ourselves in the industry, and really where we're known in the industry. So yeah, I mean, really one of the things that I'm tremendously proud of is you send us a piece of art, we'll figure out a way to decorate it, make it look cool and different.
Very cool.
Very good. That's all of my questions, Kevin. It's back to you. Thanks, Josh and Kirsten and Rick, for your replies. Thanks.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks everybody for being here with us today. This was one of our best, I think, from a presentation standpoint. I really appreciate what you guys have done. I want to remind everybody one more time, send in your information form or email us at iyb@gosafeguard.com. We're going to keep the drawing open for a few days because we had some folks who had some trouble getting on here today. So I want to make sure they have an opportunity to see the video and then also send in their requests. But thank you again, everybody. Have a safe and happy St. Patrick's Day. And we'll see you on the next one. More coming the rest of this year. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.